Welcome back to the channel, guys. I've only gone and uploaded 5 videos in 5 days. I cannot believe I managed to achieve that. It's lost me a subscriber, but anyway, what could you do about it? Today it's time for our championship score predictions. We've got a pivotal weekend of championship football coming up with 2 games playing tonight. So you guys may need to be really quick submitting your predictions today. This is what the table currently looks like with 4 games left to go. Obviously Leeds are now in pole position after thrashing Stoke City by 5 goals to 0. Stoke with that battering have now fallen down a place to 21st and are precariously close to the relegation zone. If you want to hear my full reaction on the championship midweek games, make sure to click on the eye icon up there and go to yesterday's video. Or in news from the championship, Pep Clotet has officially left his role as a coach for Birmingham City's manager. Birmingham fans, let me know of your reaction on this in the comments down below, and let me know who would you like to replace Pep Clotet as the new Birmingham City boss. I'll be very interested to hear your guys' opinions on it. As always, all of this weekend's games in the championship and including some for the Premier League are always in the description down below, so you can pause the video and leave a comment, and if you get a correct score prediction, your comment will be included in my review video, and if you get the most correct predictions, your channel will be shouted out and you'll be in pole position of the Lexus Hall of Fame. This is what it currently looks like right now. The table is ever changing every single week, so it's going to be interesting to see who is first placed in the Lexus Hall of Fame in the end of the championship season. I'm really intrigued. If you guys like what you see and you enjoyed the video, please make sure you do give this video a like. It's tremendously appreciated. If you haven't done, please subscribe to the channel. It really does help. 153 subscribers at the moment. We want to try and push on to 200 as soon as we can. And in terms of predictions, guys, I had a stinker in midweek. Didn't get a single championship or Premier League game right. I need to up my game now. So without any further ado, let's start predicting this weekend's games. It starts off with the first tonight's game, which is Huddersfield versus Luton, a key game in the relegation battle. You guys might need to be quick in submitting this one. It's a huge game for both of these sides. Huddersfield can put themselves in a great position, but concerning that they've not scored a goal in 4 of their last 6 games. But they have kept 3 consecutive clean sheets, so it's good to see that they're trying to keep it tight at the back. Luton have put themselves in a situation where realistically they can only survive if they start picking up 3 points against teams around them. They had a missed opportunity against Barnsley. They really cannot afford 2 missed opportunities. If they do, I do think Luton will go down. I think they'll run out of games to save themselves. A win can potentially put Luton only 1 point from safety, which is why it's so essential that Luton win this game. I do fear this game is going to be very cagey. I don't think either side is going to really want to lose this game. For me, this game has a 0-0 draw written all over it. So I think I'm going to predict a 0-0 draw, although I really don't want it to be. FIFA20 has also predicted a 0-0 draw. The other game happening tonight is Fulham against Cardiff. I'm more excited about this one. It can have big implications if Fulham can challenge for promotion and if Cardiff can stay in the top 6. It's a really big game for both of these sides for different reasons. Fulham had a very good win against Nottingham Forest. Defensively, they've looked as solid as they have been, and as with Cardiff, they did have a little bit of a blip against Blackburn, although based on their performance, I don't think they necessarily deserve to lose. Walton did make some really key saves for Blackburn when he was needed. Cardiff have won 5 of their last 6 away games, so Cardiff are definitely in a strong form, and they're definitely good travellers on their day. As with Fulham, they've won their last 3 matches by a 1-goal margin. I have an instinct for that 1-goal trend. I think it will go to Fulham's way. I'm going to say 2-1 home victory to Fulham, although I wouldn't be surprised if Cardiff get a result. And before we move on, I hear that we've got a penalty in FIFA 20 simulation for this game. Who's got the penalty? That's right, and it's Fulham who got the penalty. They've been so quiet in this game, but finally some energy from Ivan Cavallero. They put the defence under pressure, and Jazz, who probably should stick to Jazz after this, slid in from behind. A blatant penalty for Fulham, and it's Abubakar Kamara who is taking the penalty, of course, who missed a penalty for what was almost a crucial game against Huddersfield last year. Here he comes. Oh, he's hit the post. Oh, and Ivan Cavallero, who won the penalty, has scored the rebound. 1-0 Fulham, and that's the final score. According to FIFA 20 simulation, Fulham will beat Cardiff by 1-0. That's interesting. FIFA 20 thinks that Fulham will also win. It should be a really good game regardless. Now we go to the first batch of early Saturday games. First one, Charlton versus Reading. And already we have a goal in FIFA 20 simulation of this game. Who leads? It is Charlton who take the lead. It is terrific movement from Doughty and Macaulay Bonne. And it's Lyle Taylor who lays off a terrific pass to Josh Cullen, who has a terrific finish. Nothing Cabral can do about it.
It is 1-0 to Charlton, 37 minutes gone.
Interesting. Charlton have taken the lead in FIFA 20, but with what I think though, I'm in two minds whether this will be an entertaining game. Last time Reading came at the Valley, it was only a 7-goal thriller. A 4-3 away victory to Reading. I remember this game actually. This was back in the day where the legend himself, Yaya Sanogo, scored a hat-trick for Charlton, but despite his efforts, Charlton still lost that game. However, as Charlton try and claim for survival, they have been a tough side to break down, and I don't think it will be as much of a goal fest as it was a couple of years ago. Having lost 2 games in a row, they can fall back into the relegation places if results don't go their way this weekend. Reading for me are one of the most inconsistent sides and the most impossible side to predict. I predict them to have a 2-1 loss versus Fulham. They go and beat them 5-0. I go on to predict Reading that will beat Huddersfield by 2-1. It ends as a 0-0 draw. You just cannot predict what Reading are going to do. Following this game, I think with the overall pattern and for what these sides are playing for, I think I might go for a 1-1 draw. I think Charlton will definitely have to fight, especially with their poor run of form at the moment. But I do think Reading with their quality can get something. I'll say a 1-1 draw. Before we move on to the next game, we've got a second goal in FIFA 20's games. And it's big news for Charlton fans.
That's right, Charlton have got this game under control now. Reading have been poor and hardly threatening. But it's more great play from Josh Cullen, who finds Alfie Doughty in a lot of space down on the left. He gave it to Macaulay Bonne, who puts in a perfect cross. Raphael probably could have challenged the cross, and it's poor from Richards, who doesn't close down Lyle Taylor, who heads in the goal, and that's how the game ended. According to FIFA 20, Charlton will beat Reading by 2-0, which of course was the reverse fixture this year, and this should put them safety of relegation.
FIFA 20 thinks Charlton will win by 2-0. Quite interesting. The second early game tomorrow is Derby versus Brentford. A huge game for both of these clubs. Obviously for Derby, they want to try and achieve a playoff place and overtake Cardiff and Swansea in their way. And as with Brentford, they have to keep going and hopefully capitalise on Leeds or West Brom dropping points at any time. There's normally a load of goals being scored in this fixture. Should believe that this will be a goal fest. Having said that, I do think this will be cagey. I think Derby are going to try and keep it tight, and Derby definitely need a huge response from their very underwhelming performance against West Brom. Right now, Brentford have incredible momentum, 6 wins in a row, 5 of those wins containing a clean sheet as well. Line is to this game, I think I might just edge Brentford for a 1-0 away victory, but it's very tight, hence the low number of goals in this game. FIFA thinks it'll be 0-0. Now we have a very key game in the relegation battle, Barnsley versus Wigan. Both of these sides are theoretically 1 point apart from each other. If either of them wins this game, it puts them in a very healthy position, but it puts the opposition in jeopardy. Barnsley are probably disappointed not to take 3 points versus Luton. They were terrific in the first half despite falling behind. Wigan continue to be resolute and tough to break down, well apart from Brentford. Everyone else has really struggled to get past this side after the restart. Before I give my prediction, I've heard that Wigan have a free kick in a dangerous position. Let's go to FIFA 20 and check it out.
That's right, Wigan have a free kick in a fantastic position. It was Helm who fouled Kiefer Moore, a very unnecessary foul to give the free kick away, who was also booked for the challenge. And it looks like it's Gary Roberts who is going to take the free kick. Here he comes. And just like that, Wigan go ahead from a brilliant strike from Gary Roberts. 1-0 Wigan.
What a goal. Hopefully the real game will have this level of quality. In terms of my final prediction, I think I might just edge Wigan. I think they'll win by 2-0. Just from the way that they're organised, I cannot edge anyone else. It would be a nightmare for Barnsley if this does happen. And before I move on, I'm hearing I'm not the only one predicting that Wigan will get a 2-0 away victory. Let's go to FIFA and observe.
That's right, Wigan have given themselves fight to overturn a 12-point deduction. They have a second. Gary Roberts starts and finishes the goal. He wins possession back for Wigan. Macy charges forward like a steam train, and it ends up with Gary Roberts, who has an awkward touch, but his finish is class, who volleys it past Collins. 2-0 Wigan and a vital 3 points for their survival in the Championship according to FIFA 20.
Very interesting, I agree with FIFA 20 on this one. Should be an exciting game though. Now Blackburn versus West Brom, and already, that's right, already we have a goal to go to for FIFA 20, and West Brom already have made an intent to get promoted. Let's see the goal.
That's right, West Brom have taken a very early lead against Blackburn. It's very questionable defending from Blackburn's perspective, but it's a terrific solo goal by Hal Robson-Kanu, who dribbles confidently in the box and shoots a great finish past Walton's near post. Defenders and goalkeeper probably could have done better, but West Brom won't care. 1-0 West Brom.
Great early goal on FIFA 20, but with what I think this game's going to be a really tight contest. Blackburn, despite being 5 points away from the playoffs, they are fighting to get to that top 6, scoring plenty of goals, but having said that, they're conceding loads as well, conceding at least 2 goals in 6 of their last 7 games. Defensive reinforcements definitely going to be needed for Blackburn in the summer. West Brom have won their last 3 games, and I think they have won their mojo back and are back in full swing after a brief adjustment period for getting used to the restart. Before I give my prediction, I'm hearing we've got a second goal just on the stroke of half time in FIFA's 20 games. Who has it?
A FIFA 20 simulation first. I can say we have an equaliser. Blackburn have snatched a crucial goal in the last kick before half time. Lewis Travis is unchallenged by West Brom. His cross is not great, but Johnston with an absolute howler can't keep hold of the ball and parries it straight to Adam Armstrong, who taps in an easy rebound. Half time, 1-1.
Very interesting scenario in FIFA 20 right now, but what I think West Brom will take control, and I think we'll get 3 points. I think West Brom will get a 3-1 away victory, putting them 4 points away from automatic promotion, which is absolutely crazy. FIFA 20 thinks it will be 1-1, and whoa, hang on a lively minute. Goal in the 90th minute in FIFA 20's game. Who has snatched and grabbed the win?
Unbelievable scenes. West Brom have done it. They have snatched and grabbed all 3 points. Krovinovic keeps the ball well. With great skill, he lays the ball off to Phillips and bends a first time shot in the top left corner. It's an absolute stunner. No chance for Walton. Heartbreak for Blackburn, who've worked so hard to keep West Brom at bay. But West Brom are showing why they can be promoted to the Premier League. 2-1 to West Brom.
Wow. Let's hope that the real life game is as dramatic as this. FIFA 20 thinks that West Brom will get a 2-1 away victory. Very interesting. Now we get to Hull versus Millwall, both with bad results in midweek. Millwall I think were a little bit more unlucky than what Hull was, since they had that controversial decision to continue to play after Fletcher looked like he fouled Jake Cooper, and it was from then on where the game was kind of lost for them. As a whole, they were poor apart from one set piece goal. A win for Hull City can edge them within touching distance of safety, but it's not going to be easy to crack open a really well organised Millwall side. Millwall have been really tight in the back, especially away from home actually. Millwall have kept a clean sheet in 5 of their last 6 away games. They've got a 100% defensive record away from home since the restart as well, so it's going to be really difficult for Hull. Having home advantage may help Hull. They needed their last home game to eventually end their 13-game winless streak, beating Middlesbrough by 2-1. Couple of tight games this weekend. I think this will be very tight in KG. I think I might just edge Millwall for 1-0 away victory, keeping in their tight defensive spirit. FIFA 20 thinks this will be 0-0. Next game we have is Middlesbrough versus Bristol City, both teams with positive results in midweek, and I already hear we have a goal to report in FIFA 20. Who has struck first?
Bristol City have taken a very early lead. I think FIFA 20 kinda loves this club, which explains my ridiculous luck in the road to glory. It is well worked by Naki Wells and Andre Weimann. Jeju takes some time giving it to Jamie Patterson, who has a shot blocked by Fry, but Middlesbrough failed to close him down, and his second shot goes past Ainsley Pears. Fast up by Bristol City, who are continuing to move on from Lee Johnson. 1-0 Bristol City.
Intriguing. Bristol City have an early lead, but with what I feel both teams will approach the game with some positivity. Middlesbrough will have a spring on their step as they've edged 1 step closer to safety, managing to beat Millwall by 2-0. They didn't necessarily deserve the win, but they were tough, they were resilient, and they played on a counter-attack, and it really affected Millwall. As with Bristol City, they could go on a late charge for the playoffs, although I think it's very unlikely, but they'll get there now. Bristol City have not won an away game since against Queen's Park Rangers back in the 1st of February, which is absolutely crazy. Neil Warnock, he's not yet won a home game with Middlesbrough. Before I predict this game, I hear we've got a second goal in this game, and Bristol City are showing just what their squad is capable of. Let's see it.
That's right, Bristol City playing with positivity, no longer having Lee Johnson in charge. They score with their first attack from kickoff in the second half. It's great play from Eliasson and Naki Wells. It is a fantastic finish from Nicholas Eliasson with a similar goal to Matt Phillips' stunner against Blackburn. Middlesbrough have been very poor, not a shot in the first half. They need to wake up as soon as possible, but Bristol City won't mind that. They lead Middlesbrough by 2-0.
Big results so far on FIFA 20, but I think this game is going to be even closer. I can see a scenario for how both of these sides can win. However, I think I'm going to compromise, and I'll say that this will be a 1-1 draw. I can't really edge the sides. Just before I move on, if Middlesbrough perform like they have done in FIFA 20, they will be in all sorts of trouble again.
You're not wrong, it shows Middlesbrough's problems, and after a good spell for Middlesbrough, they have a throw-in taken by Johnny Howson, but it's a poor decision and the ball is won by Jeju nicking the ball off Makudi, then counter-attack. No Middlesbrough players are catching Famara Jeju, but to make sure Pears can't save it, he squares it to Naki Wells to finish Middlesbrough off. 3-0 Bristol City, game over for Middlesbrough.
Bold prediction from FIFA 20, they think Bristol City will win by 3-0. Hopefully it should be a good game. I'm really looking forward to this next game. We have Preston going up against Nottingham Forest in Deepdale, both sides with contrasting emotions in midweek. Preston have finally won a game following a 7-game winless streak. A pretty good performance against Sheffield Wednesday actually, and I wonder if this may be the turning point of their season and can make a late chance to try and get into the playoffs. Before we talk about Nottingham Forest, I hear we already have a goal in FIFA 20 simulation of this game. Who has taken the lead?
Nottingham Forest have taken the lead. It's a poor goal for Preston to give away, who were dealing with Forest quite well in the opening 10 minutes of the game. However, Joe Nolly looked dangerous at the right hand side, who gave the ball to Ben Watson, who made an ingenious pass to Lewis Graben, who managed to find the net. Preston will be disappointed in a defensive aspect. The gap between Bauer and Davies is way too wide, and this may put some pressure on Preston and Alex Leal. 1-0 Nottingham Forest.
Interesting, Forest take the lead according to FIFA 20. Well, I think the Nottingham Forest looked quite lethargic against Fulham. I didn't seriously test Rodak at all. Nottingham Forest for me need at least one more win to guarantee their place in the playoffs. Head to head, it's been a very close encounter over the years. Preston have not won at Deepdale against Nottingham Forest since all the way back in 2015, where, do you remember Owen Doyle? He scored in the second minute. That's the last time Preston have ever beaten Nottingham Forest at Deepdale. I think this game will end in a similar pattern to their recent head-to-head, and I think I'll end it as a 1-1 draw, but I do think the first goal is going to be crucial. If it's a late goal, I can see one goal being in it, but for me, I think I'm going to predict this game to end as a 1-1 draw. Before we move on, there's a second and a late goal from FIFA 20. Has FIFA 20 agreed with me, or have Nottingham Forest put the game beyond Preston's doubt? Let's see.
It's the latter. It's 2-0 to Nottingham Forest. Preston were pushing for an equaliser, which you cannot blame them for. Figueiredo wins the ball back from Daniel Johnson, who looked like he was going to attack. He initiates a counter-attack for Nottingham Forest. Joe Nolly led it, then to Nuno da Costa, who got enough free space from Patrick Bauer to loop a dangerous cross to João Carvalho with a free header at goal, and he could not miss from there. Nottingham Forest wrap up the 3 points, and Preston's inconsistent form after the restart continues. 2-0 to Nottingham Forest according to FIFA 20.
This will be a blow for Preston's season if this prediction does come true from FIFA. However, I think it'll be a 1-1 draw. Next, we have Queen's Park Rangers going up against Sheffield Wednesday. We have two mid-table sides with not a lot to play for, which does fear me that it might be a stalemate. However, having said that, in their recent head-to-head, do get goals in this fixture, with 20 goals combined in their last 6 meetings against each other. Queen's Park Rangers were very poor against Wigan, only had one notable chance in the whole game, and they'll be hoping to put that performance behind them. As for Sheffield Wednesday, I felt they were quite unlucky against Preston. Of course, I overhit the bar in the first half, and Borna had that goal disallowed, which I think he was quite unlucky as well. And if both of these scenarios went their way, maybe the game could have gone their way as well for Sheffield Wednesday. It's crazy to think that Sheffield Wednesday and Queen's Park Rangers are below Wigan Athletic now in the table. This game could really go either way, either cagey or a goal fest. I think following performances and recent form, I think I might just edge Sheffield Wednesday with a 2-1 away victory. It's going to be mighty tight. FIFA 20 thinks it will be a 0-0 draw. And you know what, actually scrap that, we do have a goal to report on in FIFA 20 simulation of this game. Who has won it?
Queen's Park Rangers have taken the lead, for which was a pretty good contest between two good sides. The difference was Bright Asai Samuel. He drove forward and offered something different. He had good skill to river the attack, played a 1-2 pass to Jordan Hugo, eventually finding Elias Chair in a lot of space, and he took his shot well past Dawson 62 minutes in. Queen's Park Rangers lead, and this was how the game ended. Queen's Park Rangers take 3 points with a clean sheet surprisingly. According to FIFA 20, Queen's Park Rangers will beat Sheffield Wednesday by 1-0. Interesting, FIFA 20 is backing Queen's Park Rangers. In that case, I'll back Sheffield Wednesday. Let's see which one of us is right after Saturday. We now have the very first Sunday game. Swansea versus Leeds. Another very important game for both sides, with a very similar stakes as of Derby versus Brentford for me. Swansea, likewise with Derby, can achieve a playoff place if results go their way and they take a win. Leeds, likewise with Brentford, are on the race of being promoted.
However, Leeds are on top of that race at the moment, blowing Stoke away yesterday by 5 goals to 0. What really stood out for me was Leeds' persistence. I saw the first half, and of course I missed the 4 goals in the second half, but Leeds could have scored up to 3 to 4 goals in that first half. Stoke were very frustrating Leeds and were keeping it very tight in the back. That double clearance off the line still baffles me how Leeds didn't score that from Bamford or Tyler Roberts. But Leeds dug deep, they weren't sorry for themselves and they kept trying and they got rewarded for it. Also, what a player Pablo Hernandez is. Hoping that Leeds get promoted and hoping he's not injured as well. I'm really excited to see what he'll be like in the Premier League. Before we talk about Swansea, we have a goal in FIFA 20 simulation for this game. Who has taken the lead in this very important game?
It's Swansea who have taken the lead in this game. It's great build-up play from Andre Ayew. Conor Gallagher and Ryan Brewster cut Leeds' defence apart, and Brewster does very well to shoot it past Meslier. Leeds have had chances, but as usual they've been wasteful in their final product. And Swansea right now take the lead by 1 goal to 0.
Interesting, Swansea take the lead in FIFA 20, but getting on to Swansea, they are another team in some fantastic form right now, beating a very sorry Birmingham side. I remember the reverse fixture very vividly. It was such a cagey game. It was first versus second at the time. But for me, this game is even more important for both these sides, despite Swansea having a little bit of a drop-off since then. Can't really separate the two sides. I think I'm going to go with a entertaining 2-2 draw. I can really see both teams really going for it. And FIFA 20 has a second and probably decisive goal. Have Leeds fought back? Or has Swansea given another championship twist? Let's see.
Swansea look like that they have won this. 70 minutes in, they have a 2-goal cushion. Jordan Garrick, who was brought on as a substitute, the first thing he does is he supplies a goal for Swansea. He pulls off a great pass to Selena, who's given space by Ben White, but it's poor for Stuart Dallas, who just stands there and allows Brewster to run through on goal and score a simple tap-in. According to FIFA 20, Swansea will beat Leeds by 2 goals to 0.
Really big call from FIFA 20 here. They predicted Cardiff to beat Leeds by 2 goals to 0 as well. I'll back Leeds' fight though, so I'll say a 2-2 draw. And the very last game this weekend sees Stoke going up against Birmingham, both sides having really heavy defeats. Stoke conceding 5 has put them in a very precarious position, and it's worsened their goal difference. It has only put them 1 point above Hull City, who occupied a final relegation spot. Birmingham had another poor performance, conceding 3 goals for the 4th time in their last 6 games. A change was needed, which is why Pep Clotet has officially left the club now. Since Stoke have been relegated from the Premier League, they've played Birmingham 3 times, lost 3 times, which is not encouraging really for Stoke, where I think they definitely need a win minimum to try and keep themselves safe. Following that, Birmingham have managed to get Clotet to resign. 9 times out of 10, you see a new freedom and spirit with the team, producing a fantastic response. But I think Stoke will be okay at home because with their home record, they've won 4 home games out of their last 6 home games. I think they'll be okay at the Bet365 Stadium. I'm going to go for 2-0 home victory for Stoke. FIFA 20 thinks that this will be a 0-0 draw. So there you have it, guys. These are my championship predictions. The table on your left right now is what the championship table would look like if all 12 of my score predictions came true. West Brom are now on top. Brentford are now only 4 points behind Leeds with 3 games left. Swansea have now entered into the playoffs. Cardiff, Preston and Millwall are hot on their heels. Huddersfield, Middlesbrough and Charlton are the teams just above the relegation zone. Hull on 45 points. Barnsley and Luton joint last on 42 points. If we apply Wigan's 12-point deduction, they will be 22nd with 44 points and only 1 point behind now 21st place Hull City. The relegation and promotion battle is definitely heating up. To end the video, let's predict the batch of Premier League games as well, just for fun. Norwich against West Ham. Norwich have to win, otherwise they're getting relegated. I think they're going to lose this game. I think West Ham will win. I think it'll be 3-1, which will confirm Norwich City's relegation. Welcome back, Canaries, by the way. Watford versus Newcastle. I think I'm going to back Newcastle for 2-1 away victory based on their form. Liverpool versus Burnley. Burnley are in quite a difficult situation right now, although they still keep getting great performances. But against Liverpool, though, I think they'll struggle. I think it will be a 4-0 home victory to Liverpool. Sheffield United versus Chelsea. All the games that they've since have their new sponsor on free, there have been 3 goals scored by one team. And I'm going to predict that it will be Sheffield United. I think they'll win by 3 goals to 1. Brighton versus Manchester City. I think Man City will be comfortable. I think I'm saying 3-0, but it could even be more than that. Wolves versus Everton. I think Wolves may win this game. Everton have been quite inconsistent after the restart. As with Wolves, they've been quite inconsistent as well. They've lost their last 2 games. I'll say 2-1 Wolves. Aston Villa and Crystal Palace. Aston Villa preferably need to win this game to have any chance of survival. But I think Palace will get something. I think it'll be a 1-0 away victory to Palace. Spurs versus Arsenal for North London derby. I'm really excited to see this one. Both teams not really performing at their highest level at all, really. But if I'm going to edge the team who have had better performances, for me, I have to give it to Arsenal, as crazy as it sounds. I think I'm going to get a 2-1 away victory to Arsenal. That would be a mad result if that does happen. Finally, Bournemouth versus Leicester. Bournemouth need to win this game. They picked up a great point against Spurs, but arguably they should have won this game. They had a goal disallowed from VAR with the handball rule. I think Leicester will be comfortable though. I think they'll win by 2-0. But that wraps it up for today's video. If you enjoyed what you saw, please make sure you do give this video a like. It is tremendously appreciated. If you guys are new around here, welcome to the channel. If you haven't done, please subscribe to the channel. It really does help. We want to try and get to 200 subscribers as soon as we can. But that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. You guys are legendary if you saw the end of this video. And as always, take care.